Welcome back to He Can Fix Anything. Today I'm going to fix my frozen pipes forever. We have a major Arctic blast coming in over the next couple of days. It started coming in last night with the temperatures. I think it's 12 degrees right now this morning. And with the next couple of days we're supposed to get several inches of snow. Temperatures as low as -7 and wind chills as low as almost -40 degrees. So I guarantee these pipes are going to freeze without some type of intervention. So as I was thinking about this a few weeks ago and what I could do to prepare, the idea came to me that I need to get the warm air from this room down into the crawl space below. This crawl space below here, I'm actually standing on an old porch that was enclosed back in the 1950s. This is a 110-year-old house we live in. And so this porch has always been prone to freezing. Unfortunately, that's where the laundry room is and the bathroom. And so in the coldest parts of winter, the pipes freeze here. So I thought to myself, I need to get this warm air from this room down into the crawl space. And the best way to do that, my thought was, well, I just can buy one of these pumps that you use to pump up an air mattress or pool toys and things like that. And I was able to pick these up pretty cheap. By the way, everything I talk about in this video, you can get off Amazon. I'll put links below in the description for you to do that. The next thing I thought about is how am I going to control this air pump? Because I don't want it to run all the time. I don't want to have to remember to come in here and turn it on. Definitely don't want to wait until the pipes freeze to turn it on, because thawing them out is a lot more difficult than keeping them thawed. And so I came across this heat mat thermostat. And this is used for growing flowers. Some people use it to keep their reptiles warm. But this thermostat will go down to 40 degrees, which is, I'd prefer it to go down to 35 or 33, but 40 is okay. And it comes with a temperature sensor on the end of a wire about 6 feet long. And so I'm able to stick that down into the crawl space and be able to sense the actual temperature in this crawl space, and it will automatically turn the pump on and off. As I was putting this idea together and working all the details out in my head, I decided, let me Google it, let me look around on YouTube and see if anybody else has done this before. I was actually surprised to find that nobody had a solution for keeping your pipes from freezing in an inaccessible crawl space. And so I'm really hopeful that this is going to work and it's going to be something that will help you. And it's super cheap to do this. Now, just to give you an idea how this setup is going to work, I have the thermostat plugged into the wall, and then the pump is plugged into the thermostat. It's 110 volt, and so it doesn't need any special connections. Then I'm going to take the temperature sensor and I'm going to put it outside this window and let it get down to temperature. So as that temperature is dropping, I'm going to go ahead and verify the setting. It should be at 40 degrees. You hold that down, and sure enough, it's on 40. So it will kick on at 38 degrees and kick off at 40. And it works as designed. The next step is to find an out-of-the-way location to put it. Preferably if you have a place like in a closet or under a sink, that would work best because it will muffle the noise of the blower. Unfortunately, I'm in an old house and I have really limited access to electrical outlets, so I'm going to be setting mine beside our hot water heater. I am going to cover it with a decorative cardboard box until I can find a more permanent solution, and then it will also be sitting behind a trash can, which will hide it and again redirect some of that noise and muffle it a little bit. Now, before you comment, obviously this is not the safest location, because if we have a hot water leak, it'll turn into more than a water problem. It'll turn into an electrical problem. But this is just a stopgap measure to get us through this Arctic blast. So as I mentioned before, this is an old porch that we're on. So I actually went through the subfloor, and then about an inch below that, I must have hit the old porch floor. But I am through, and the line is clear. It actually fits kind of perfectly. So you can put that down, it'll stay in the hole and blow where it needs to blow. The next step is to locate your temperature sensor. Now it's on a 6-foot cord, so ideally you can locate it 6 feet away. But I have an inaccessible crawl space, so I'm going to have to drill a hole through the floor for that. And unfortunately, I don't want it running across my floor 6 feet away, so I'm limited to putting it under my dryer. I'm actually going to put it between my washer and dryer. So it's only going to be about 2.5, 3 feet away from where the air is blowing in, but that's my limitation. Now I want to know how far this wire goes down into the crawl space, so I went ahead and tied just a loose knot in it. And so that way, when I put it down in there, you gotta get through that subfloor. There we go. Now I know it's not down on the ground, but it is down in the crawl space. So now I've got this installed. This is plugged in. It's already down to 49 degrees. And slowly creeping down. So now I need to put the decorative box on for my favorite brewery, Boulevard in Kansas City. And there are, on each side, these handle holes will provide the ventilation needed. I'll just put this up here, plug it in, and it's all beautiful and ready to roll. Put the trash can in front of it, you won't even know it's there, but I'll be able to keep tabs on the temperature. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn this up just to test it, see how long it takes to get up to a certain temperature. So just hold this down for a few seconds. I turn it up to 50. Let me go up to 52. I would consider that a success. It took about 7 minutes for it to increase the crawl space temperature by 2 degrees and switch off the pump. And a few lessons learned. One, it fell over a couple times in there. So I have some adapters that came with this. I'm going to put one on, and I think it will not only direct the air into the crawl space and not lose any to that gap between the subfloor and the original porch floor, and also it's going to make it fit tighter. But that's definitely something I'm going to need to check. The nice thing is you can put your hand beside the ventilation hole in the box, and if there's air pulling in, you know it's in place. If there's air pushing out, you know it's falling over sideways. You don't even have to move the box. Also, you can hear the noise change a little bit. Another lesson learned is the ambient temperature you're pulling from in the room is going to affect how quickly your crawl space heats up. And in this case, this is kind of a cold room, about 60 degrees, and I was trying to get it up to 50, so it took a little bit longer. I have a feeling that when that crawl space is 40 degrees and this room is 60, it's going to warm it up faster because of that temperature differential. If you keep your room a lot warmer than that, 70, 72 degrees, it should heat it up that much faster. The other thing that's going to affect it is the size of your crawl space. The larger the crawl space, the longer it's going to take to heat up, the longer you're going to get to hear that blower blow and make that noise. Thank you for watching. If you want to learn more about this channel, check out the videos right beside me, or better yet, like this video and subscribe to the channel.